This time I will call the February 12th, 2024 York County Workshop to order. We do have a pretty large agenda. Our first item of business is the Animal Control Facility update, and I'll turn that over to you, David.
Well, I'll be glad to hand it right off to Mike Moore. He's going to talk about the where we are with the consultant they've been working on, and provide council an update.
Okay.
Bottom line is management, engineering, public works are recommending that we shift our focus of effort from a new facility in the eastern part of the county to a renovation expansion on the existing facility. That's based on a number of factors. One is that we believe that we can offer this services at the existing facility with an expansion. We've got enough area, acreage to expand the facility there.
Okay.
So we gain some efficiencies in that. And we also think there's potential for some savings in renovating the existing facility and expanding it. We will need a revised scope for that. So our intention is to go forward with a new RFQ, which would be coming forward to council. And then we would inform the current team that due to the change in scope, we're going to go back out for a new RFQ for a new consultant. So when we write the scope, it's going to be essentially for all the existing services that are provided at the animal control. So it'll allow for some growth, allow for some improvements to include the HVAC and a number of other issues that need to be addressed, which I think you are all familiar with. So that's just an update for you all.
Cool.
And we'll be coming forward with an RFQ in the future for that.
Mike, do you foresee that being less than the 16 million that we talked about?
I would love to be able to say that. I don't know that that's going to be the case, but we're going to work hard to keep it within the existing budget.
Go ahead.
So, and what is the transition from like, what happens during the period of time that they're renovating that? What happens with the animals and the capacity? During
Well,
that
I think, we're going to work that with the consultant, so we're going to write the scope. We're obviously going to have to continue services, so, and essentially we want to, that's what we're talking about, an expansion. So if you could, build a new facility and then shift everything over, that's going to be a savings to the county.
Okay.
But the question is, within 60 million, can we get a comparable size facility? Because right now we're about 17,000 square feet. So if we've got a comparable facility, we could essentially move everything over. If it's going to be less than that, they're going to have to compress, perhaps get temporary facilities, things like that, be creative in how we continue the services. But
What is the timeline for that, for the revised scope?
I think we'll have a scope of what in
For the RFQ, I mean.
March, April,
Yeah, maybe April and May. something
April and May
like that.
timeframe. Okay. So.
What,
I'm done.
quick question. So, are we going to be adding on to the existing building or building a whole new building from within the same property?
The idea would be to, keep the existing facility, operated.
Yeah.
And then add some additional space
Add on to
for
the,
growth.
okay.
And other things, if you've been in the facility, you've seen the veterinarian area, for example, is pretty small.
Yeah.
So we'd want to, modernize those. So there would be some additional space. But, how we would go about sequencing that is going to be what we're going to, that's really why we're going to do a new scope. Because
Okay.
it's really going to be kind of a complex process to preserve the existing facility, expand, and then kind of keep everything operating.
So, that sounds good. And again, we've got a shot to give them future space that they're going to need as they hopefully, continue to not grow too much, but, But the other question I have is, do they do adoptions placement right out of that same building?
Currently, we do offer adoption services in the existing facility.
Yeah. Okay. So So maybe with the additional room, we can expand on that.
Exactly. That's
Hopefully, get more dogs or cats or whatever back into
Right.
good
That's
homes.
one of the things we had discussed previously is expanding on the adoption side of that.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Good.
we're going to look at that as well as.
One thing that was said in a council meeting that was
Yeah.
inaccurate, that I'd just like to take the opportunity to correct, and correct me if I'm wrong, but our, the save rate, which is a combination of adoption and rescues, is still over 90%, isn't it?
I believe, is that,
So the final number for 2023 was 89%.
so 89%.
But it's still
Right
hovering
around
around there. Yes.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank-
you.
Thanks, Mike.
Any other questions? on
Just
that
one
topic?
other, will the scope take into consideration the satellite locations that have animals that have been taken in that don't, they're not dogs and cats, horses?
Oh, you're talking about large animals?
Mhm.
We do need to consider that because where we do some of that work right now is out at Worth Mountain. So,
Mhm.
you know, if we proceed with developing that, that is essentially something we are gonna have to look at.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
for non-cats and dogs, yes, we still have responsibility for domestic animals.
right, okay, thank you,
So we will include that, yes.
thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, Mike. Hearing no other questions, and I'll just say this, and I always hate turning around. I don't know who's here with us tonight, and typically in our workshops, this is the time for council to get updated on things that are coming before the council. Tonight's a little bit unique. Legal has requested that we go into executive session to get some legal input on several matters that are before us, so it's a little bit unusual, but when we have our motion to move into executive session, just wanted to let you know, we appreciate you coming out, but we've got to reconvene in executive session. We'll have to clear out the room when that happens. So do we have a motion for executive session?
Yeah, we've actually got three of them. Receipt of legal advice, fire, AUP, and matters related to administration. Receipt of legal advice, contractual matter, water and sewer services. Receipt of legal advice, litigation update.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll move straight into executive session.